So if you think that the police is shooting black people because they're not cooperating in the back of their heads, I want you to take 2 minutes and take that situation, remove that nigga and put your white child there or put your white self there and tell me, is it okay to blow the back of your fucking brains out because you don't show your ID or you smoked a little weed or you didn't want to cooperate? That's how you get an open mind.
We went to Montana and we walked in this grocery store that was covered in like taxidermy heads of like deer and mountain lions and all this stuff because Montana's a big hunt. I mean, everybody hunts there. And my kids were just appalled. And I said to them, I didn't even see the animals because I grew up in rural Georgia. There's deer heads everywhere, convenience store everywhere. But there's no allowance these days for any experience other than your own. Yeah. So I grew up in Southern California. Nobody has taxidermy shit in their house, but they do in Georgia. So I was like, this is a good time for you to think, how is this person's experience of life different than mine? And how can I not judge them from that and just say, open mind. Who are you and how do you approach the world? And I really, I swear to God, your book is the reason I started thinking like that because I thought to myself, there was so many times in that book where I went, I am a narrow-minded white asshole. I am a narrow-minded white asshole. And it's not my fault necessarily, but it is my responsibility once I have seen that I am incorrect to change the way that I move through the world. That's my responsibility to change it. And I feel like if somebody, if half the people that read your book had the same reaction I had, we'd start changing the world.
We'd start changing the world. That's why I sell that book at every show. Because I get that same thing, and especially from white America. They would go in my inbox. If I could show you the stuff that I get in my inbox, and it was like, thank you for writing this book. I learned so much about the world, and I judge and I this, with you, it's like this. Each one teach one. You don't know until it's put out there.
That's right.
And a lot of times, this world know how to protect certain people from certain things. We as Black America, we endure every fucking thing because they allow us to endure everything. But like, look at Texas trying to take out the whole thing about slavery out of school. They want to teach you false history because they want to protect the white kids. Now, I think that's Texas who's doing that shit.
I'm pretty sure
Texas who's doing it. It's Texas. Why not tell people that white America wasn't shit in the beginning, but we as white America now is trying to make up. That's our history. We can't change history. No. But I'm not that person. But this is not how we see America today. But instead, they'll keep just burying and burying and burying and act like everything is, is hunker-do happy. But it's not.
It's not. And it's
even like with police shooting. I was telling somebody the other day, I said, people like, he just should have cooperated. So I say, always take time to, no matter what the fuck you're going to judge somebody on, I want you to just take time to put yourself in that situation and see if you will still have that same answer. So if you think that the police is shooting black people because they're not cooperating in the back of their heads, I want you to take 2 minutes and take that situation, remove that nigga and put your white child there or put your white self there and tell me, is it okay to blow the back of your fucking brains out because you don't show your ID or you smoked a little weed or you didn't want to cooperate? That's how you get an open mind. Right. Because when I see stuff on TV, this is when I knew that my mind open. When O.J. Simpson was accused of killing that white woman,
Nicole,
we as a Black America, we cheered when he got off. When I got a little bit older and I realized that he took this woman from her kids, her mama, her daddy, somebody they love. And I put myself there and I said, would I want somebody to cheer for my killer? If that was, even though he got off, somebody killed that woman and took her away from her fucking family.
Right.
And that's when I realized that I was closed-minded. Because somebody loved those 2 people who died that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't just go and just jump and say, oh, it's a white woman got killed. I look at it. I put myself in that situation before I try to voice my opinion.
Wow, that's good advice.
And that's how you should do. When a police officer kills somebody that don't look like you or beat somebody, like the 2 police officers who had the lady who was walking down the street, a white lady, and she was kind of little, I think she was autism or whatever, and they broke her arm because she was mentally ill.
Yeah,
and she walked out of the store with something and then paid for $15.
Yeah,
and instead of treating her like a human being, they slammed her to the ground and broke her fucking whole arm.
Right.
And people was like, they fired him, and they should have fired him, and they should have locked their asses up.
Right.
I put myself in that situation as a black person. As a black person, you've probably been treated way worse. But would you want somebody to treat your loved ones who is not too bright up there, who forgot to pay for something and break their fucking arm and be sitting at a desk bragging about it? That's what's wrong with us. We only see what's in front of us and what makes us comfortable, and we don't step outside of that box. So it's okay for the police to shoot a 12-year-old boy in the park because he was playing with a toy gun. Right. But if you put your white child in that position, you wouldn't agree with that.
No, hell no.
So that's what's, I think that's why I'm not angry. That's why I try to write with an open mind. I try at my show, I don't preach, but I try to tell people when they and I about my situation, don't feel sorry for me. I'm here for all of us. Because just because you might have didn't go through the child molestation, maybe the next story I tell you can relate to.
Well, not just that. It's trauma is trauma.
Trauma is trauma.
Everybody has trauma on some level. I mean, most people do. And when you can elevate trauma to a place of healing and laughter, then it heals everybody in the room.
I tell them that all the time. Every time I walk on stage, it's a healing moment for me.
It's a gift.
We're laughing together. And it's okay to laugh. It's the past. Why am I dwelling? You can't change the past. I can't dig up the people that done me wrong. I can't change the family that I'm born into.
Well, that's just prison in and of itself if you stay trapped in hating that.
Yeah.
You got to, freedom is forgiveness. Not forgetting, but forgiving.
Yeah.
And saying, this is... there's a reason you had that. I super believe in God, and I believe that you have that path so you can be here. You can change other people.
Sometimes I think I say, am I the chosen one for this shit?
Well, not that you would want it. Not that you go, you know what, this life, I'm going to take all this trauma. But
God do know how much you can take.
Yes.
And God do know your heart.
Yes.
And, I don't know why I went through the stuff I went through, but I always know that he had my back. I remember taking custody. I have custody of my four kids. And I remember saying, I don't want these fucking kids, God, I can't do it. And I remember, God, I'm not lying. I swore my hand to God. And I heard a voice say, I got you. A couple weeks later, I saw the TV show.
That's amazing.